Listen. Listen.
Nepal. Forgot about that T20I Tri-Series up in Scotland. To come and do an interview, and we understand that, but isn't it amazing how so many players this is out of town. That stroke deserves to interrupt the story. It's a long way back. Like just to see the biggest six in the tournament thus far. This looks monstrous. An almighty strike down the ground. Again, Mala sticking with himself for a third consecutive over. Maybe it's an over too many. No pace to work with at all. 70 metres. What? Surely it's bigger than that. 63 metres. I thought our measurement was 63 straight HD. Gotta go get the measuring tape out now after our stint. That's gotta be bigger than 70. Massive hit down the ground that gets the car going. That's where the balls ended up. Yeah, just before we go to drinks here, because I'm sure we're going to be going to drinks soon, Lenny, but all the players that hated doing interviews and refused interviews during their playing careers, they're all in the commentary box now. All of them. Well, they learned the full game. Just to finish out the Mark Watt points, almost the entirety of his T20 career has been spent between number 7 and number 11. He's a very handy number 7, 8, 9, but he was thrown up.
The atmosphere at the Chitawan University International Stadium. This has us all excited and entertained. The selfies around. The moment they see themselves on the big screen, big smiles come out as well. Everyone's enjoying NPL season too much like Fazal Khalil. On NPL debut, right?
Well, absolutely. I'm enjoying myself, especially with the kind of hospitality that the Cricket Association of Nepal has extended to us. The cricket, the crowds, the weather, commentary box, Mikhail Vaswani. It's all happening here in Kathmandu, isn't it?
As always, generous with your words, Fazal. Never put a start here for the Yaks. They have 9 wickets in hand. Panchal is just punching above his weight. It's been brilliant. To turn things around.
Well, he's really playing well, Priyank Panchal. Now, after the little bit of a break, needs to regroup a little, does Panchal.
Priyank Panchal shines on NPL debut. It's been a flawless innings, and he does it on the grandest stage of Nepal cricket. That's the Nepal Premier League. What an innings he's played, laced with maturity and aggression in the middle. He brings up his maiden NPL 50. Well done, lad. 72 for 1.
Welcome back to this beautiful venue here in Kathmandu. The Tribhuvan University has just saw that 50 from Priyank Panchal, celebrating that with a boundary. 1 bounce over the boundary cushion. Really feasting on the spinner on this pelter of a track.
He's turning on the magic with the bat, Priyank Panchal. He's shown a lot of conviction in his footwork, unafraid to dance down the wicket to the spinners, use his feet. He's picked his spot to perfection as well this morning. Wow! Massive out of here. What a hit! Priyank Panchal's entertaining the crowd to the fullest. And Mark Ward is enjoying it at the other end as well. Pressure on Zeb.
What a player he is. Brilliant hitting this by Priyank Panchal. 82 now. Just take a look at that. That's the Siddharth Bank maximum of the match. It's gone many a mile. Can you... 60 undefeated of 30 deliveries. He's really on fire today. Is Priyank Panchal. A strike rate of 200, Mikhail.
Yeah, what a stage to turn on the magic if you're a batter. Doesn't look like Panchal's playing his first game in NPL. Looks like he's been batting forever. Just didn't look uncomfortable at all from ball 1. Began with a 4. Priyank Panchal is keeping it simple. Focus, visualize and execute.
Well, it's called situational awareness, Mikhail. You know, that tunnel vision that he has. He's come here as a professional and he's playing every bit a professional. He was just in Hong Kong for the Hong Kong Sixers, and now he's come here to Kathmandu and he's enjoying himself out here. A bag full of sixes. Life suddenly seems to be good.
From Hong Kong Sixers to Nepal Sixers for Priyank Panchal. Look at that. 4 sixes for him. 5 fours and strike rate of 200.
Yes, take a look at that. 5 fours in that.
Mark Ward has best of 31 not out of his T20s. international career. He's regarded more as a left-arm spinner who goes with a reverse straight to the fielder. This is not going to help Panchal.
Well, yes, we did see Max O'Dowd as well, scratching around 20 of 30 deliveries. Not going to help their cause. It's just more pressure on Priyank and more pressure on the batsman to follow clearly down the leg side. Leg byes will be signaled by the umpire. A shout in win, but this is going to add pressure on Priyank Panchal. 11 done, 84 for 1.
It's been quite a run fest here for the Karnali Yaks. Look at the first 6. Priyank Panchal all the way down the bulk of the scoring out of 84. He's managed 61. And the batters have been rather quiet, have revolved around him, but it's been a Panchal show this morning as Ravi Bopara has been summoned to bowl over number 12. Yeah, he's coming with the gentle medium paces, the off-cutters, that's been nudged away. He'll settle for one. It'll be interesting from here on for Fazal to see how does Priyank Panchal approach his innings, particularly with the last couple of deliveries gone quiet.
Well, this is a good opportunity for him to shift a gear, perhaps stay in that 4th gear, 5th gear. He needs to keep that run rate going. They're going well at the moment. Karnali Yaks really going well at the moment. They need to continue. What an innings he's played for the Yaks.
What I really liked about Panchal this morning, Fazal, is the way he's constructed this innings, caution, aggression.
Well, he's on debut, but he was given a couple of loose deliveries to get away, and then he really laid into them. He was really harsh on this left-arm spinner down the track, using his feet to good effect here, and the high altitude in Kathmandu helping his cause. 4 sixes in that 62, really setting the stage for a nice big total here, Mikhail.
It looks a good surface, as you mentioned sometime back at the pitch report. Going at a very good clip at the moment. However, they need to up the game because the last 30 deliveries they've accumulated 36. Things have gone a little slow over here. Going at a run rate of a little over 7.5. He'll take the pace off the ball, Ravi Bopara. Yeah, the off-cutters.
This is his opportunity. He doesn't need to step off the gas here, Priyank Panchal. They have a lot of batting to follow. Watt perhaps needs to just throw caution to the wind here. They're in the 12th over. So this is the time where they can just accelerate a little, get a few smiles on the faces in the crowd. Some 6s and 4s. They've come here to see 6s and 4s, Mikhail, and perhaps your face as well.
They certainly come to see good cricket, and that's what's on offer at the moment. As always, 7 to 13 is a crucial phase in any part of the game, whether you're batting first or batting second, Fazal.
Absolutely, especially if you've got off to a good start like this, you can plan the latter half. So between 7 and 12 or 13 is that in-between phase where teams either win or lose the game.
Yeah, he'll nicely clip it down to square leg to keep strike as well for over number 13. It's been a quiet over, good start here. 6 singles and 6 deliveries, 90 for 1.
Two are the ones in orange. The ones in orange are slightly on the back foot. The Blues are slightly ahead in this game. 90 for 1 in the 13th over. So the captain himself, Kamal, out there, he'll be shouldering the responsibility of trying to get Priyank Panchal out now.
Yeah, a lot of colour here, as always, at the TU Stadium. Just like the colour in the com box when you have Fazal Khalil sitting alongside you. Nicely driven, that's in the gap. The fielder will have to give up the chase. That's because the ball is racing to the ropes. What a hit. He's looked so good on both sides. Sides of the wicket. Another fuller delivery, this time straight to the fielder. For the colour in the ground, the colour in the com box, well, yours truly sitting alongside the evergreen Fazal Khalil, and this is the HP Petroleum commentary box, SPL NPL Season 2.
Well, slightly blue there, isn't it? We're in blue. Seem to be having a good time here. Lovely, nice conditions here, and great stuff on the ground as well. So happy to be part of this Nepal Premier League time.
Blue here as well. A lot of the blue in the ground. Almost pinned the Empire on the way. He's gone straight. Work to do for the fielder. That long gone. Krijan Dakal will keep it to 1.
Mark Watt, he'll really need to go big now. It is slightly warm out there, still in their woolens, enjoying the weather. We're just about approaching winter, and it's that time of the year where things get a little comfortable when the sun is out like this. You comfortable here in Nepal? Mikhail, you seem to be one of the favored sons out here.
Just a bit of aggression, and coming back to your point, there's only one sun here in Nepal. That's the great Lenny. But yeah, always feel the warmth and affection when I come to Nepal. It's a lovely place. The people are so hospitable and so warm, and you can see the unprecedented love and acceptance as well for the cricket. You just feel like wanting to come back again and again, and I'm so happy and privileged to be back for Season 2 after a wonderful Season 1, Fazal.
Certainly some warmth in the crowd as well. A lot of warmth from the Cricket Association of Nepal as well. Mr. Paras Khatka, the secretary, he's been really warm to us. The president had everyone coming here and asking us how more comfortable can they make this for us. And that shows the kind of people that they are in Nepal. Done so many leagues all over, but this really stands out, Mikhail. Feels really good. Talking about the hospitality, the food, the hotel, the drive.
And your co-commentators as well, Fazal, you're forgetting them.
Absolutely. Mikhail Vaswani, how can I forget about him?
And the entire production team.
Mandir Bhatia, our director, is getting you all these visuals. He's on the money.
Yeah, it's a collective effort. It's a cohesive effort. Everyone braving the cold, the heat sometimes, and putting on a lovely show in the middle. Nepal Premier League Season 2. How good has he looked, Priyank Panchal? He's putting on a show as well with the bat. 6 runs coming off over number 13. It's 96 for 1.
be determining what your end score would be.
Yeah, he's trying to find that big hit, but he's just not been finding the timing this morning. You just remove Priyank Panchal's innings out of the equation and you think that the Karnali Yanks are actually struggling with the bat, because you had initially Max Sodowd get 20 in 30 and you have Max Watt 6 in 11, which means 26 and 41 deliveries have come from both these batters. And Priyank has 69 and 38.
Also, if you see the last 30 balls have yielded 38 runs, you don't want that to happen. 30 should go for at least about 50, 55 at this stage of the innings. So they're slightly behind the 8 ball are the Yanks at the moment. They look good, but they need to step on the gas just about now.
Especially when you had that opening partnership of 61 runs. You have 9 wickets in hand. I understand sometimes you want to keep the depth for the death overs, but batters like Arjun Saud, Gulshan Jha, you need to really come up early. You have Sadran as well. You can't be keeping him in the dugout for long. There has to be more method to the madness. Yeah, he's got some bat on this one. That's in the gap. Work to do for the fielders. That's nicely cut off. He'll only keep it to 1.
Just take a look at that again. No real timing for what? It was in the slot. That should have been put away in the crowd. There it is. Just a little piece of the ball down on one knee. It's not the biggest outfield here, Mikhail, but it's just slowing things down. Mark Watt, he needs to get a move on for sure. Yeah, that's what happens. Pressure suddenly starts to shift on the settled batsman Priyank Panchal.
Now that's a very uncharacteristic shot by Priyank Panchal. He does not play that shot. He likes to go down the ground. He's going across the line, and that is pressure telling on because dot deliveries accumulating at the other end.
Yeah, absolutely, and what it does is creates pressure on Priyank Panchal because of what's happening at the other end. He'll pick up the single for sure, and the 100 for the Yanks coming up in the 14th over. It's good batting this from Priyank Panchal, being the architect in those 100 runs for the Yanks.
I'm in the dugout. I'm telling Gulshan Jha, madam, be ready, you're next. This man can practically turn the game in a couple of deliveries. Look at that second 50, taking as many as 50 deliveries, almost a run a ball 50. That's not a good sign if you're the Yanks. Nicely bowled, yeah, he's struggling, yeah. It's Mark Watt. 4 runs coming from over number 14, it's 100 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Notice copy. Okay.
It's electric atmosphere. Yeah, that's the Red Bull fan zone. Red Bull New Gen Energy refreshes you. It's called the Babal Energy. Don't forget to try the new Red Bull product that's recently launched in the market. Fuzzle's been sipping on quite a few Red Bull cans here.
Well, yes, I've enjoyed myself in the commentary box. There are loads of them here in the commentary box, and we are enjoying themselves. Not that you aren't. You down a couple yourself.
Oh, the energy. Talk about the energy in the ground as well at the moment. The Rhinos will be keen to just eke out a couple of wickets. Chandakal comes on to bowl. Spencer in his first. That semi-new ball to do some talking. Priyank Panchal 71 and 41. I'm expecting an event ball here. Yeah, talk about an event ball, gets the top edge, goes for a 4. Good start to over number 15.
Well, you can't afford to pitch the ball short if you have third man in the ring. Leading edge, going clearly and easily over the man in third. David Malan, the fielder, going comfortably over him and getting 4 runs. 4 much needed runs for Priyank Panchal and the Yanks.
Looks like He's made up his mind. He's told himself enough is enough. Time to completely shift gears. So this is going to be a very big over. Smartly done. Soft hand, step and run, quick single. Good running, good calling. They need a lot more of these. Perhaps a few more from the bat of Mark Watt. At some point, the skipper of the Yaks, Sompal Kam, you will be thinking of perhaps replacing Mark Watt if he doesn't get a couple of big hits. 7 of 13, well, not acceptable at this point in the game. It will really be.
ल है सबैजना रोकिएको छ रोक्नु सबैजना म निकाल्नु छ है रोक्नु म सबैजना नातिनु है धैर्य गर्नु म सबैजनालाई भ्युअर्सहरुलाई देखाउने छु भिडियो निकाल्दिने छु है एकछिन वेट थोरै 2 मिनेट वेट गर्नु है 2 मिनेट वेट गर्नु म तपाईहरुलाई फेरि पुनः भिडियो निकाल्छु
Across the country, we truly enjoy our drive from the hotel to the ground every morning.
Well, I certainly do. It looks really nice as well. It's very comfortable, and the good part is it's all electric. How environmentally friendly would that be? That's magnificently struck. Just stand there and admire it, young man.
Oh, he did hit that with some certainty, I must admit. Just how quickly he got onto this one. He's moved into the 80s. Look at that. He had to drag that from outside off, but the pace on the ball wasn't too much. And Priyank Panchal, oh, that's an extraordinary hit. Drilled that over the cow corner region. That ball's got some beating this morning from the bat of Panchal. Just as Fazal kept reiterating that the surface will play out very well as the day progresses, particularly if you're a batter ready to just spend some time in the middle.
It doesn't take you too long to get set on a pitch like this. You get a couple of half volleys, you get a couple of short deliveries, but you have to have the ability to put it away. Priyank Panchal, 7 fours, 5 sixes in that 82. Can he get that first 100 in the season?
Shot and wide, cut away. In the gap, work to do for the field and the deep will come across and keep it to 1. Very nicely fielded.
Well, he certainly got the opportunity and he's got the time to get that 100. I'm sure it'll be playing on his mind. He's got many of those at the first class level. Not too many in the T20 format, but the stage is...
फास्ट भ्यू तपाईको कारणले गर्दा भ्युअर्स कम भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि हाम्रो वेट सब्स्क्राइब कम भएको
really set for Priyank Panchal
गाली माफ गरिदिनु होला
to get that first 100 and Karnali Yaks to really get a mammoth total here. They need to end well, the Yaks.
Okay, what's happening with Mark Watt at the moment? This partnership is worth 53 and believe you me, the bulk of the runs have come from Panchal's bat. Yeah, once again trying to go really hard at this one.
Yeah, Sompal Kami will certainly be thinking at some point now that he needs to replace Mark Watt. 7 of 14 is just not going to cut it for the Yaks.
This is where I feel probably they may have missed a trick by not having a Vadran going early, or maybe a Gulshan Jai at this stage would have been ideal. You have things set up perfectly well. One well-set batter over 80. They have 9 wickets in hand. He's just managed 114 in 15 overs. Oh, he finds the gap this time though. A lucky gap and nicely cut off as well. A couple of runs to end over number 15. It's been a very costly over as well. And Panchal will keep strike for over number 16. It's 116 for 1.
सबैजनाले प्लिज सब्सक्राइब गर्नु होला है। हाम्रो भिडियो क्वालिटी आउन सक्ने कारण यही भएको कारणले प्लिज सबैजनाले सब्सक्राइब गर्नु होला है।
Making his debut here in the Nepal Premier League. Priyank is lighting it up and honing in on what would only be the second century in Nepal Premier League history. Andreas Kaus it was last year. He made that marvellous century. Sadly, he's not with us this year. I thought he would be picked up. But the fascination for both me and HD Ackerman here in the commentary box has been what exactly are Karnali doing with their batting order. Najibullah Zadran watching on, Gulshan Jah watching on. Mark Watts elevated up to number 3. Clearly a gamble, clearly a roll of the dice. It hasn't worked. What can he do from here? Priyank is sparing the blushes here for them because they're still in a very, very strong position at 117 for 1. But surely Watt's got to put the foot down. It doesn't really matter. If he gets out, if he hits it out the boundary, he's got to try find the boundary, hit out the ground, doesn't he? It's just it's not been an innings that either Max O'Dowd or Mark Watts will want to remember fondly. It's one of the challenges, isn't it, for associate players in terms of even when they get opportunities like this, because they aren't playing as much cricket as the players coming from full member nations. Might just take you a game or two to warm up, and then you might find yourself out of the mix for the starting 11. Helped away towards the man, but it's gone over his head. Deep mid-wicket was more than interested as it came off the bat. I think so too was Ravi Bopara. But Priyank is just striking them unlike anyone else so far this season. Bopara couldn't get there. He moves into the 90s.
Even Priyank had a long, hard look at this. I'm not sure he felt he got this near the middle of the bat. Almost blowing it across the boundary. Go, get there. Just, and that's enough.
An amazing first-class record, primarily for Gujarat of late, although he debuted for Maharashtra. And he's going to perish, gets to the 90s, he'll get no more. It's a good catch, very well judged by Dev Canal. Down at long on, he holds on. And my, how they needed that.
Huge wicket, but what an innings this has been from Priyank. Just 47 deliveries for his 90. He really has stood man alone because the other two have struggled. Doesn't get the elevation that he's looking for. Bopara with a change of pace.
Good catch.
And then nicely held in the deep. It was very, very important for the Rhinos. So they get the big man. But what an introduction for Priyank Panchal. Goes for 90, 1-2-4 for 2.
And we're expecting another full house here this afternoon. Remember, it's double-header action. Hey, look at this. Another little wild card. It's not going to be Najibullah Zadran. It's not going to be Gulshan Jah, who was simply sensational in this exact position for Nepal during that T20 World Cup qualification run. Without him, I don't think Nepal necessarily would have qualified. He had that much of an impact, the highest strike rate of the tournament. But the left-hander's been held back. Gyanendra Mala is saying, I want to stick with the right-hand, left-hand combination. And Pawan Sarath, who again, all 8 sides wanted through the mini-auction this year that was held back in September. He comes in to play for the Karnali Yaks for the first time. Good off-spinning all-rounder. Surely it's going to be Gulshan Jah here instead of Pawan Sarath, though. Bizarre, really.
How many balls
balls, do the likes of Gulshan Jar and Najibul Zadran. How many do they want? Surely this is the perfect time. Really good over. Ravi Bapara using all his experience to get the big breakthrough. It's 1-2-4 for 2. Great atmosphere. Sohail Tanvir, he's got that death bowling quality and skill. He was excellent last season. You know what you're going to get from him. With a new ball, you're going to get someone that can swing the ball back into the right-handers, and then at the back end, he's got a great slower ball. But if the surface is not conducive for his slower ball, he can go to his Yorkers. I just wonder, I'm not a big fan of it myself. I just wonder they're going to think about pulling him. You can retire players out, we have seen it. Well, he's trying to get on with it, and that short fine leg, trying to go up and over. I just don't know what that does for a player. There's a long tournament that lies ahead. You know, does a player walk off the ground after being substituted and say, yeah, that's the right decision? Or does he feel a little bit despondent about things? What are your thoughts on that retirement out? I know it's very much within the laws. Is it within the spirit? I'm not a big fan of it myself. The spirit is a grey area in itself, isn't it? I don't think it's great. Again, I think of the player. You know, if it's a one-off game, I understand, but there's a long tournament ahead here. I think if the coach pulls the player, he's going to end up spending a great deal of the next few days trying to get him to feel good about himself again. Gulshan Jar and Najibul Zadran look as though they padded up. They're chomping at the bit. They're raring to go because poor old Mark Watts, 11 off 18, battling. That's off the pad, and that will help. It won't go to Cowan Saraf's total, but it will be his accumulation of runs for the team, 4 to the total. He'll be disappointed with the Sohail Tanvir because he's bowled a couple of good deliveries to Watts, accumulated a few dots. And this with fine leg up inside the circle is gimme runs, really. Make these two make a play because they're under pressure as it is. I think of the power, the X factor that Gulshan Jar has. I'm not sure there's a better or cleaner striker of the ball anywhere in Nepal, and I'm going to include Kushal Malla in that. Gulshan Jar has longer levers, he's a tall young man. He struck at 197 in Oman when nobody from one of the other 8 teams, 9 teams there in total, struck at more than 155. That's how good a cricketer he is, and he was doing it in the most difficult times. There were 3, if not 4 matches where if he didn't come in and score right from the off, he made 20 off 5 in one game, including 3 maximums. Without those runs, Nepal might not be going to to that T20 World Cup, and they're just leaving all of that value, all of that potential far too late for me.
Yeah, because the game opportunity, it's very much just balance here, because there was an opportunity for the Yaks to get out of front. There was an opportunity for them to post 180 plus. But Philip O'Dowd, 20 off 30, what, 11 off 18, Cowan is none off 5. Well below where they need to be in such a strong position.
And don't get me wrong, Pawan Saraf is a very talented young cricketer. Again, he's tall, he bowls very good off breaks, was out entirely with that anterior cruciate ligament injury, missed last year. Finally, he has a first run in the Nepal Premier League, and it's harsh to call a player out, but none from 5 and 11 from 18. Very difficult to come back from that momentum with the Rhinos, if anything. 130 for Stu. Particularly when the floodlights kick in. We were treated to a beautiful sunset last night on a historic evening. Front page of every single paper in the country yesterday. The front page again today is Rajat Thakkar returns. Goes to the slower ball, the cutter. These batters just cannot get anything going. We've got sponsors from right the way across Nepal, including Bajaj Pulsar. It's a precision strike, this new bike, clean and sharp, pure next-gen Pulsar accuracy. And as you know, HD, I love my motorbikes. I need to have a little bit of a spin on that round the valley on one of our days off.
Well, I don't fancy being a passenger.
You're not going to hop on the back, you're not going to go pillion for me. Down towards long off, not going to carry. I don't blame you with some of the driving round Kathmandu points. More of a side.
नेक्स्ट च्यानल सब्स्क्राइब गराइदिनु होला प्लिज सबैजनालाई म अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु किनभने हाम्रो अब मात्र अब हामीसँग 2-2.5 ओभर मात्र बाँकी रहेको हुँदा कारण सबैजनाले सब्स्क्राइब गरिदिनु होला गेम अड्किरहेको छ कारण के भन्दा सब्स्क्राइबर कम भएको कारणले गेम अड्किरहेको छ प्लिज सबैजनाले सब्स्क्राइब गर्नु त सब्स्क्राइब गर्नुभयो भने गेम अड्किदैन हाम्रो क्लियरिटी भिडियोहरु हेर्न पाइनेछ त्यसकारणले प्लिज सबैजना सब्स्क्राइब गरिदिनु है गेम अड्केको म निकाल्छु है नजानु होला सबैजना पर्खिनु होला म सबैजनालाई भिडियो निकालेर देखाउनेछु आउनेछ आफै है यो सब्स्क्राइबर कम भएको कारणले गर्दा गेम अड्किन्छ सो प्लिज सबैजना
Sideline. Actually, Bullets a drag. World-class player goes for Jah. I think he's. Graham Kathmandu points. More of a side. Graham Kathmandu points. More of a side. Then it's a wide from a standing position, so he can't crowd. That's a view for the umpire right there.
मलाई घटघाट नभएर त्यसरी गाडी जान्थेँ मान्छे सिक्ने काट्ने मुजीहरू काम गर्ने भने डरा मुजी लगाउने मास कुदाएर सिक्ने हो क्या चाक सिक्ने नपर भनेको मुजी त्यो मुजी बुढो चाक के सिक्नु बिएनबी बेसिक यो पेपर दिएर पठाउन यो पेपर है पेपर लिएर चाहिँ जाथा ए बोला साला गाडो ये तो पासे नहीं देना हाँ पूरे गाड़ी खाली छ पासै छैन दिएको गाडी छैन त्यहाँ सबै एपीको पास यहीँ गएर अहिले लगिदिएको सिडी 38 सिडी 37 पास लिएर गयो तर छैन कहाँ गुड पास छैन पास छैन राख्छ कहाँ गएर मान्छे कहाँ पुग्यो यसको फोटो फेरि यार फोटो निकालेर दियो भन्नु मान्छेको आइडी बोकेर हिँड्न सक्दैन माधव फल आइडी बोकेर हिँड्न सक्दैन अरे छोडेर कि ठुलो हराउँछ यार आइटेमा चाहिँ टावर B24 का 4 नंबर भेजेर आएछ AB 4 नंबर पास लिएर तर पास हरायो शङ्कर भोलि मलाई दोष नलाउने नि मैले भन्ने त्यहाँ मुखिलालाई भन्दा चिने पाएको छैन यहाँ दुईवटा छ त्यहाँ मुनि गाडी पुरै खाली छ गाउँ
हामीले काम हामीले काम हाम्रो अझै गरौँ अहिले भोलि गर्नु
म त गर्दैन भयो
हामीले 5 दिने काम हो अब उसको त 5 छैन भने हाम्रो पनि हुँदैन नि त
यही खोल्दै पढाउँदै मार्ने गरेर
अब यो गर्नुपर्छ एक नम्बर 5 नम्बर छ यो ओभर बारी
यहाँ खाँदैन म
छ 8 वटा गाडी छ त्यहाँ
एबीको 4वटा पास छ त्यहाँ
एबी 4 वटा बाहिर छ फेरि धेरै अरेको
अर्को लानु चाहिँ मलाई चियाको खान्छु मारेर बुढालाई भनिरहने म अहिले भरे टाउको एबी को 5 जम्मा यहाँ दुईटा छ पुरै एबी ए को 5 जम्मा दुईटा छ अरु सब खाली छ त्यहाँनेर ए खोइ 5 पता हराए पनि भर्खर 5 लिएर आएको यहाँ जब दुईटा मात्रै छ ए को 5 पुरै ओपन खाली छ एबी को 4 5 त 3 छ भरे भोलि मलाई के आएर जाउने हैन नि त्यहाँ शङ्कर दाइलाई सोध्नु के सोध्नु शङ्कर दाइसँग कुरा गरेर तपाईँलाई भनेको कहाँ 4 पिकअप आइतेमा चाहिँ आइते त्यो टावर यो ओपन पार्किङमा त्यो 1 को 5 कतिवटा छ त्यहाँ मलाई लेखेर पठाउँदै यहाँ त्यहाँ गन त त्यहाँ एबीको पास लिएर पनि ती गाडी पार्किङ गरेर छ क्या हेर त त्यहाँ कतिवटा छ ए को पास एएनडी 3608 टोटल पास कतिवटा हो टोटल पास कतिवटा हो 12 कि 14 5 र 6 रहेछ जाने एक को पास छ हेरमा भने
हेलो मेरो पनि
जो दुईटा मात्रै रह मार्छ ये पास नम्बर गर्न छैन एबीको पास पनि छैन सब गएको छ एबीको पास एउटा जी हो त्यो हेरेर छैन हो छैन छैन भन्छु एबीको पास पनि छैन हेलो होइन त्यो पास ओके 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 मेरा बिने छैन बिको कतिवटा छ एउटा दुईटा सातवटा गयो सब बोकेर गयो जस्तो लाग्यो रुको मैं कोटा akani ramre ho zindagi o tagale 90 10 बजे पहिला हो मार्च सिक्ने कॉफी थकाली चार ल्याइँदैछ अन्त थकाली थकाली भनेर बोलाउँदै जाँदा चार्ज यो लाडो यहाँ हाल्नु कि मोबाइल हाल्नु कि BKS 535. ओपन पार्किंग को पास भित्र बाहिर गरेर आँकडा छ अरू कोही गाडी एउटै दिँदैन
भित्र लगेर राखेको गाडी क्या नानीहरू एकजना धेरै काम थियो नि त्यतिखेर ट्याक्सी गाडी लिएर भित्र लगेर हालेको छ
चादर लिएर आउनु पर्यो अन्त फुल हुन्छ
नभए ह्यासट्याग बोहरा भनेर च्याट बक्समा लेखिदिनु होला सबैजनाले र यो चौकाबाट दीपक बोहरा खाता खोल्न सफल तेस्रो बल भने सोमपाल कामी डट बल राख्न सफल र यो बल भने डट बल र यो डट बलसँगै ओभरको तेस्रो बल लिएर अगाडि बढ्ने क्रममा सोमपाल र अहिले हामीसँग 1200 भन्दा बढी साथीहरू हुनुहुन्छ हामी दोस्रो इनिङ्सको खेलमा छौँ र थुप्रैजना साथीहरू हामीसँग जोडिने क्रम पनि जारी रहेको छ पक्की पनि र यो बल हेरौँ ओभरको तेस्रो बल त डटबलको सामना गर्न पुगे ओभरको सुरुवातै जसरी चौकाबाट गर्दै दीपक बोहराले खाता खोलिदिए अहिले हामीसँग 1100को अलाइमा साथीहरू हुन्छ यो खराब बल रह्यो सोमपालबाट ओभरको तेस्रो बल फ्याँक्ने क्रममा सोमपाल यो वाइड बलसँगै एक अतिरिक्त रन खर्चेर पुगेका छन् यो एक्स्ट्रा 1 रनसँगै 5 रनको स्कोरमा चितवन र यो 5 रनसँगै अब जितको लागि 118 बलमा 162 रनको आवश्यकता चितवन राइनर्सलाई 1100को अलाइमा साथीहरू छ सबैले एउटा लाइक गर्दै साथ पनि दिनु होला र के लाग्छ आजको यो खेलमा तपाईँको विचारमा चितवनले बाजी मार्नेछ वा कर्णाली याक्सले कमेन्ट बक्समा लेख्नुहोस् र तेस्रो बल पनि डटबल सम्हालेको बल सोमपालबाट यो बल पनि डटबल कुनै पनि रन पनि मिल्ने छैन दीपक बोहरालाई ओभरको सुरुवात त जसरी खराब बल फ्याँकेका थिए सोमपालले त्यसको फाइदा उठाए दीपक बोहराले चौका लगाउँदै तर सम्हालेको बल फ्याँक्दैछन् सोमपाल 2 बल भने डटबल राखेका छन् दीपकलाई कुनै पनि हाफ गोलले मौका दिइरहेका छैनन् र तेस्रो बल डटबलसँगै अझै पनि 3 बल त बाँकी छ सुरुवातीको खेलको समापन हुँदै स्ट्राइकमा रहेका दीपक बोहरा चौथो बल यहाँ सामना गर्ने क्रममा स्ट्राइकमा ओभरको चौथो बल हेरौँ सोमपाल कामी यो बल लिएर अगाडि बढ्ने क्रममा यो बलमा हात त खोलेका छन् आकाशिएको छ दीपक बोहराको बल्लबाट यो बल कि जान त बााउन्ड्री या विकेट हेरौँ के हुनेछ र जानेछ पक्कै पनि 4 रनको लागि बााउन्ड्री तर्फ शानदार शट शानदार टाइम दीपक बोहरा र ह्यासट्याग दीपक पनि लेखिदिउँ या त ह्यासट्याग बोहरा लेखिदिउँ नेपाल प्रिमियर लिग पक्कै पनि नेपालीको सान रहेको छ त्यसै त नेपाली खेलाडीहरूले बनाएको यो प्रकारको भनौँ चौका र छक्काको प्रसाद हुँदा हामी रमाउनेछौँ भन्दै आएका छौँ र यो चौकासँगै 9 रनको स्कोरमा चितवन अझै पनि 2 बल बाँकी छ सुरुवातीको खेलको समापन हुँदा र बिचमा डोब रोकेका छन् सोमपाल कामी उनी कप्तान हुन् कर्णाली याक्सका मार्की खेलाडी पनि हुन् अहिलेसम्म 4 बल फ्याँक्दा सोमपाल 2 चौका र एउटा वाइड बलसँगै उनले जुन प्रकारले 9 रन खर्चिसकेका छन् र यो 5 बल लिएर अगाडि बढ्ने क्रममा सोमपाल भर्खरै बिचमा डोब रोकेका सोमपाल यो बल पनि डटबल र यो डटबलसँगै ओभरको अन्तिम बल हेरौँ ओभरको अन्त्य या कर्णालीका कप्तान सोमपालले विकेटबाट गर्छन् या दीपकले बााउन्ड्रीबाट गर्छन् हेरौँ तयारी अवस्थामा त छन् हामी देख्न सक्छौँ दीपक बोहरालाई र यहाँ सोमपाल बदिन्छ कर्णालीका फ्यानहरू र चितवन राइनर्सको फ्यानहरू पनि कमेन्ट गर्नुहोस् आफ्नो टिमको लागि र यो ओभरको अन्तिम बल अन्ततः यो बलबाट डटबलसँगै सुरुवातीको खेलको समापन भएको जानकारी सबैजना साथीहरूलाई मैले गराउन चाहे र पहिलोको खेल र पञ्चलले चौका प्रहार
कसको फ्यान तपाईँ हजुर कसको फ्यान हो तपाईँ म
167 को टार्गेट अबै यो त
प्रियङ्क पञ्चलको पनि स्ट्राइक्सलाई हेर्ने हो भने यतापट्टि हामीले